Hello, Tracy here with another scrapbooking process video. This one is, if you watched the layout called Canadian Halloween that I just showed you, you'll know that I had some photos left over that I didn't get a chance to scrapbook from the Halloween season. And so I had my This Is Halloween add-on, which is the only Halloween. I didn't get the main kit for This Is Halloween, I only got the add-on. So I had all the supplies out and I had just done the Canadian Halloween layout, and I just decided that I would make a pocket page insert to scrapbook these remaining photos. And my idea here was that I would do it super fast. It ended up taking an hour, but I also did it more elaborately than I was planning to, and I'm really pleased with the outcome. And I had the time, so yeah, I was gonna start using my November kits today, but I did this instead. I'll use November kits on Thursday. So I'm taking my the bold end of my Zig Writer, which is 1.2 I think it's 1.2 millimeters is what they are calling it. I don't know. It's a 1.2 pen anyways. And I outlined it and I had cut that piece of 4x6 paper out of one of the pattern papers that came in the kit. It's one of the exclusive pieces. And I'm just doing some journaling here that says we all made molded candy because ... there just weren't enough sweets around. So on Halloween Day, of course, we had already had treats from various Halloween parties, and we had candy that we knew we'd be getting that night, but yet we always do this every year. We make our own Halloween candy. It's sort of a tradition, not really needed, but we do it anyways. So now I'm just taking some of the cut apart pieces that come in this kit. There's always one sheet of cut aparts that are usually 2 4x6s and then 4 3x4s. And so I think there's 6 3x4s. Anyhow, whatever. You saw the cut apart there before I cut it up. So I'm going to make another, because I don't have many 4x6. It only came with 2 4x6s, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to need more than that. I'm just cutting up a couple more pieces of 4x6 paper, just using my paper trimmer. So I've got an assortment of cards here. I'm putting cards up in that pile there that will just go into the pockets. They're ready to go. So 2 of them are just filler cards that I'm not planning to do anything to, although I'll change my mind eventually about one of them. Meanwhile, I sent a couple of extra photos to print. I thought if I'm here doing some pocket pages, I might as well print up the rest of the photos that I thought were worth talking about this year. So that's what I was doing right there, just trimming those up. So I'm going to do another 4x6 card right now, and I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do it. Let me flip it around so I can see what I did. Yeah, so I was going to mat it with that bold. You know, I love matting things in bold, diagonally striped paper, but it was just, I wanted a black outline as well, so I'm double matting it. And that's just with that dark, it's not fully black, it's like a black on gray, large polka dot. Use my tiny attacher there to attach it. And I just overlapped it with the pumpkins, and I'm outlining this one as well. I'm going to outline many, not all, but many of the cards with this same bold tipped marker just to bring them together. My journaling here says, because Scott had to work Halloween night, we left our treats out on the step for trick-or-treaters. This worked fine other years, but unfortunately this year, our treat bowl was, and now I'm going to go get some letter stickers from my stash, because the add-on did not come with small letter stickers. And I'm going to spell out the word ransacked, and these are authentique petite type letter stickers. They were from my stash, and I'm pretty sure I didn't buy them, so I'm guessing they came in a kit, a Scraptastic kit. Ransacked. And then I'm just going to add the exclamation point, but I had to trim it down so that it would fit on the card. So unfortunately, our treat bowl was ransacked by little goblins from middle school. We were tipped off about who it was, and it was fairly early in the night, so unfortunately, our treats did not really get given out by any of the kids who we meant for them to be received by. So I'm thinking about putting a little statement here about I don't know, karma or upset tummies, or I don't know what I was gonna write about there. But we weren't too upset about it or anything, so I didn't want to make it seem like we were bitter or anything when we actually really weren't. You know, you expect pranksters on Halloween night. We didn't mind so much that they took our treats. We hope they enjoyed them. And so I'm just filling the space there with a little strip of orange sticker that I cut apart from that hinge. I knew I'd never use the hinge for anything. And then I just added I thought that mask was appropriate there because it's sort of like, you know, they were pranksters who stole our treats. Not from us, but from the other kids who would have been trick-or-treating after them. So now I'm just trimming up this photo, which I actually wasn't going to put on. It's a selfie that I sort of took just kind of as a joke, but then it looked so cool that I had to put it on Instagram. I wasn't going to, it's just kind of like really me focused, and anyways, I wasn't going to put it, but it was just so cool that I had to put it in here. And so I'm going to cover it up with that eek and have eek be like a peekaboo cover for it so that it's not, I think that photo would take a lot of attention away from some of the other photos if it were just left exposed. So I'm going to cover it with the card that says eek. Because this layout is really about my kids. It's not really about me, so I don't want me to be so dominant on it. And so I just took, it happened. I don't know if it was a coincidence. Probably not, I guess. But that spider web really goes well over the spider web that was drawn by Caitlin Schaefer when she designed these cards. She often will design the cards so that there are different emblems and symbols and stuff that coordinate with the other elements that are already in the kit. So it was just so nice that sticker provided a little bit of dimension for the pattern that was already there. And then I went into my stash and got that little brad of the spider just to add the dimension to the spider too. I thought if the web was getting some dimension, I needed the spider to have a bit of dimension too. Sorry that I'm scrapbooking a little bit out of frame here. There you go. I fixed it for you. I'm just matting this picture of Camilla with the spider web paper and then also putting a little bit of another piece of the cut apart that I didn't use. And I'm just going to messy outline it using my marker here in lots of different ways. So every place I see that I can outline, I'm just outlining, and I'm holding my pen almost at the end so that it can be really wobbly. And I'm writing on the side of it there. It says, "Wow, so cool to see Camilla get into the spirit of Halloween." And now I'm taking a roller date stamp and I'm just stamping 31 October 2015. And now I'm thinking about what other stickers I might want to use here. I'm going to do my journaling in that large space there. This sticker would look perfect. It says the witch is in, but she wasn't actually a witch. She was a vampire. So she was a female vampire. So I didn't want to use the witch sticker. So instead I'm going to use this October 31st. It's pretty much the same shape and size as the witch sticker that I wanted, but it's more relevant to the content of the card. So it's like a fake tag. And so I poked a hole and put another one of my little Halloween themed brads. Those are from Recollections and they're from probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I got them at Michael's. Recollections is the house brand for Michael's. And it's one of the few things that I brought from my stash into this spread. And you already saw that it's from the same set of brads that the spider is from. So I'm going to spend a bit of time shifting these letter stickers around so that they fill up this space. I want to add a hashtag, but I didn't leave quite enough space when I moved them over the first time, so I had to move them all over a second time. And I'll move them a little bit. They don't have to be perfectly lined up. I like them a little bit messy looking here. So there we go. And now I'm going to do my journaling. I'm going to do another set of backwards journaling here. So I started with Camilla in and then UC, and then it's not every day. And then I'm just going to, after I've got the letters down on the paper, I'm just kind of going back and forth over and over them in the same place to make it look more bold and to increase the readability, but it also gives it a bit of a creepy look too. It's not every day you see Camilla in a dress. So I'm just putting my cards as I make them up in that pile up there. This is how I do my pocket scrapbooking. I haven't done pocket scrapbooking since before the summer. I took a bit of a break. And I like to do it this way. Instead of kind of designing a page, I just design a bunch of cards and then I put them into a page at the end. And I had the idea right from the beginning that this would probably be a half of a Becky Higgins Design A page protector. So with that in mind, my goal is to have 4 4x6s and 4 3x4s. Instead of 8 and 8, which is what I would normally be aiming for. So you just saw me mat those two. I matted the photo and then I matted that little journaling piece that was in the cut aparts. I'm using those authentic letter stickers again to say Our House. I usually like to stick with 1 or maybe 2 letter stickers in a pocket page, just so that they, it's not too much going on. I'm going to mess around with these enamel dots a little bit before I decide on leaving them be. I'm going to move them over that way, and I'm going to move them over the other way. So this one says Our House on Halloween Day. So that one's done. And now this last one, I'm kind of running out of steam. So I'm just going to put the picture on there and cover up Trick or Treat with this phrase from the authentic sticker set that came in the kit. And trim it down. And now I'd like to run another phrase, and the only phrase is this one that says, what does it say? May luck be yours on this Halloween night, but that makes it too long, so I'm just gonna cut off the word night. So it says, may luck be yours on this Halloween. And then I'm writing Liv and Sophie's jack-o'-lanterns. They made their jack-o'-lanterns at a different time, and I wasn't home when they made. And so now I'm just going into my pocket page protector album, and I'm getting out a Design H, Becky Higgins, which is half of a Design A if you didn't have a Design H, because it's a very specific type of a page protector. If you don't have one, you can just take a Design A and cut it right in half. And so now I'm going to make this flip up, and I'm thinking about am I going to run it so that it flips up? I'm just thinking about the 2 different ways that I could adhere it. And while I do that, I'm just going to decorate the back side of it. And the back side of that flip up one needs to be upside down so that when it flips, it's going to be right side up. And at first I thought I would do it that way, but then I'm going to end up deciding to do it the other way. And I'm going to have to trim down this because I just didn't cut it the right width at first. The Becky Higgins 3x4 cards are not exactly 3x4. So cut to a few minutes later, I had just taken some photos of the spread, and now I'm going to put them back into the pockets. And that one needs to be trimmed down a little bit. I had to shift the sticker over in order to trim it. There we go. And now it fits in there fine. And now here's where I'm going to kind of experiment. You can either put it so that the adhesive tab is covered and it's folded down and then it flips up quite obviously, or you can adhere it so that it's basically adhered to the pocket above it. That's what I ended up doing. I've done it that way before too. I just like it better that way. It lies a little bit more flat. I just shifted it over a little bit. It was too far over. So I like that. Sorry about all the glare and that you can't see it all that well. And now I decide I'm going to change this eek from just a plain card. I'm going to change it so that it says eek, take a peek. I'm going to use those authentic letter stickers again. And I'm using the V. I've just cut the V sideways so that it makes a little arrow. So spelling out peak, and then I'll center the A, and then I'll put the word take right above it, and take is the same number of letters as peak, so it's easy to space that out just based on the word below it. Eek, take a peek. And then I thought about adding something of color to this, and then I decided not to, just to leave it as it is. I was going to put, no, that doesn't look good. Forget it. I'm just going to leave it like it is. I like it like that. So there we go. Now, just so that you can see how this is going to look in my album, I'm going to take out two 12 by 12 page protectors, and I'm sorry, I probably could have just cut this out, but here it is. I'm putting my first Halloween layout that I made using this add-on, and then this is the second layout that I made using this add-on. Just gotta get those letter stickers glued down there properly. And that one goes in like that. And now I just slowed it down because I did this super fast. I did like flip, 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 and then it was over. So I just slowed it down so that you could actually see how it looks. Maybe I didn't have to slow it down quite this much, but it just gives you a chance to see how it all looks together. So I'm going to try to put some photos in. I hope it works because my photos are doing something weird today. Have a great scrappy week.